And everyone, good evening again. Welcome to the exciting show today. And this evening, or rather, we'll have, it depends on where you are, whether you're in Australia or somewhere, the story behind the book featuring none other than Jane Tung. Now she's in Vietnam, Hanoi, and all the way, from Hanoi. Well, I'll just give you a background of her, and later I will ask her to tell you more about herself. Jane Tung was at the peak of her career in property management company in Vietnam when she was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, breast cancer. The foundation of her life was shaken, and her whole world crushed by such devastating news. The rest, let herself tell her the story. Let us welcome Jane Tung, or Lady Jane.
Thank you, Lady Jane. Yes, I'm being known as Lady Jane, okay, in my WhatsApps. It has been like following me, this name, for very, very long. Okay, hi, I am Jane, all right. I'm currently in Hanoi. Yes, I was a bit excited, okay, when Pastor Joshua was telling me that he's going to talk again on my book. It was a year ago when I launched my book during last year, during my birthday. It was on the 20th of February. I think this year, not last year, 20th of February this year. So, of course, it was a very memorable moment because that is the time whereby I got back, so-called I got back my life. God given it back to me, which God have already promised me. He said, I will give you back your life. Okay, I will heal your wound. I can never forget what God have told me, So I got very excited, so, and told God, I said that if there is a birthday, so this birthday, I should bring forth to thank you, to honor you, because it is you who have given me this life. Otherwise, how to celebrate birthday? So I launched my book, You Are Chosen, on that very same day, on my birthday. So yeah, it was a very good one. Okay, and you may ask why I want to write this book. Okay, actually, when I have been like Pastor Joshua said, okay, let me introduce myself before I talk too much about my book. Let me just let you know that I have been in Hanoi or in Vietnam. I stay here and work here for the last 12 years. So I have been here for quite long already. So I was a banker, okay, before this, all right? So I was a banker. And after that, after my so-called retirement age, okay, I opt out to become a banker. And I have joined one of the very big property management company as their CEO. Okay, so today I'm actually managing their properties in Hanoi, in Vietnam, I put it that way, in Vietnam. So yes, I have been here long enough, and I actually stay in a hotel because I actually been given a suite in the hotel, so I stay in the hotel. So I manage the hotel, and I also stay in the hotel. So if you all happen to come to Hanoi, please do drop by in Hanoi to see me. Okay. So yes, your question?
Yeah. Jane, I was actually very impressed with the title, You Are Chosen. May you tell us how you come to select this title?
Okay. So on that very particular day last year, the year before last, that is 2021, when this whole thing happened, I was like, I didn't know that I was diagnosed. I mean, I didn't know that I have a tumor in my breast. Actually, it's a breast cancer. So I didn't know. So I was so devastated, when I knew that I actually have cancer, because in my family, there is no history. Nobody got cancer. So I couldn't actually believe that what is happening to me. So of course, when it happens, so I was like asking God, why me? I was praying, and of course I'm crying and praying. I got into very devastation stage, and I just don't know what to do, because I asked God, please tell me why, okay, this thing happened, So during one of my devotion time, God lead me to this verse on 1 Peter 2, verse 9. Then he was saying that you are a chosen person, okay, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people that belongs to God. that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness to his wonderful light. These words actually just come into my heart, and I realized that, you know, God actually want this thing to happen. I mean, he has chosen me to go through this. Of course, sickness come from Satan, okay, but God willing to go through this whole thing with me. I think during this whole period of time, I get myself more deeper and deeper in my walk with God, you know. So I get to hear his word, you know, I get to understand what he was trying to tell me. So I was talking to God. Is it I have not done enough, okay, of all this that you want to teach me with this sickness, you know? So God assured me. He just tell me. He assured me again. He said that you just remain in me, and I will remain in you. He said that is the purpose of this happening, okay? Because I want you, okay, to do all the things that I have planned for you. So on John 15:16, again, I was very clear of what God was explaining to me, why I need to go through this whole journey. So I wanted to write this book is because I want to document, I want myself to remember all my life, how gracious is God, how great is he, okay, and managed to pull me through from this so-called the pit, you know, and he lift me up. And that's the reason why this book, I actually, every moment that I went through with God, okay, I take the time to write it down because I want to glorify him. I want to thank him. I want to tell everybody, believe in him. Because I went through this life and death moment, and I know he is truly, truly there. That's the whole thing why I want to write this book.
Wonderful. Yeah. For those who are just watching in or coming in, you're watching Pause, yeah? Pause program. Pause is an association for poets, artists, writers, and songwriters. And today we have our guest, Jane Tung, and who happened to be in Hanoi for, right, not now, but 18 years there. And she was supposed to be very, very successful, right, in hotel line, in banking line, and now in this property line. So, all right, now before we go on further, I have read the books, and it was a very fascinating book because it I still remember the book when it started. Jane said, I want to document it myself, tell the world about my success. But later, this event or this episode hit her, and instead of telling her success of her life, but she told about her success in God. All right, I think God will make us success if we allow him to, right? And Jane has shown us that she has done it. All right, and before we go any further, the important question of today, all right, the important question of today, what is the story behind the book? Even it's quite obvious. Let's hear from Jane.
The story behind the book, I actually wanted to let people know how true and how great is our God. And I also want to take this opportunity to share this book, okay, with those in need, whether they are Christian or they are non-Christians. I believe that when we were being diagnosed, okay, with a sickness, we kind of like losing hope. I think the purpose of me writing this book is actually to give people there is hope when we trust in God. You know, of course, that as I said that, you know, the whole intention of me writing this book for my personal need, I want this to be documented so that I can remember God forever. But for those people out there, which I think that it is very important when they are being diagnosed with sickness, they need to be encouraged. They need to. And by giving them this book, as I said, that whoever you get to know, please present them this book as a gift to them. Because, you know, during this kind of down moment, okay, I believe that this book will help them to lift up their spirits, to let them see that, you know, that if in all circumstances they are in, okay, there are also opportunity to recover and get to know God.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and as I read this book, it's appeared to me very, very very clear throughout the book is that Jane has a support not only from God, all right, but from her family, from her spouse, from her children, and from those people around her, all right, including the doctors and all the personnel. And I think this is a very great blessing to her. And so that's why I said it's very appropriate, the title you are chosen. So God has sent his people around her to help her. And it's no joke, let her tell you about how she have gone through the various treatment from chemotherapy,
Chemotherapy.
chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and all these things. Maybe you can just tell a little bit of the pain, the immense pain that I read through. You can tell the audience how you overcome it.
I think one of the most painful moment was I had a failure in my mastectomy. I mean, the operation failed. I think that was one of the moments that I almost thought that that's the end of Jane Tung. So I went in for a mastectomy operation. Okay, but however, I had internal bleeding. Okay, so due to this internal bleeding, the doctor was deciding that at the end I should do another round. They need to push me in. If not, the blood keep flowing. So then I will be in life danger. So at this very moment, I was crying out loud to God, and I asked God, why after 6 months of chemotherapy, is it not enough, okay, for you to test my faith? I was asking God, why you still want to put me into this situation whereby I have internal bleeding, So, and it was really a dramatic moment, and it was so saddened, that I have to cry out to God, because I told God, I have done what you want me to do. Okay, I have done what you want me. I have been reading the words of God. I have been praying. I have been, taking my Holy Communion daily. I did not, don't follow whatever you have taught me. I have done so. So I was telling God, I say that, if I want you to let me know why I need to suffer again, or all this issue, all this again, and I have to be pushed into the operation theater again. And at that very moment, God have actually told me. He told me, he says that, Jane, be still and know I'm God. Be still, so trust me. When you trust in me, you will see the glory of God. So I was thinking that, God, okay, I really want you, okay, to be with me, because I need to go in there again. I need to go into the operation theater again. So, and you read my book, it was really very exciting moment whereby I was crying out so much, that God had just put me to sleep even before the doctor put a anesthesia on me. Before I even being injected with anesthesia for me to sleep for the operation, I think when they just put me in, Holy Spirit put me to sleep. Even doctor was telling me they haven't even do this, but I already slept. So I really felt the presence of God. I really felt the presence of God, and God is talking to me again and again. So it was the moment that I really spent 18 days, 12 days or 18 days in the hospital. And this moment, I was devoting myself to him, and I can hear him very clearly what he was trying to tell me. And the last one that he told me is that, Jane, be strong and courageous. Be strong and very courageous. Is that, didn't I tell you to be strong and very courageous? Then I know that God is actually telling me, be strong to go through this. He has promised me that he will be with me. Okay, so that is a beautiful, I believe that is a difficult moment, but it was a beautiful moment of me with God. So actually today, I'm still sharing my story with the Vietnamese, okay? And I'm telling them that, I want you all to know that what I have gone through, okay, I'm the real person. That I want you all to know that this God that they are worshiping is really, really real. So today I'm still talking, I don't stop talking about what I have actually went through. So I think, Sabrina, maybe one day we can, like Pastor said, combine, then let's do it, to encourage those people.
Yeah. Okay, you have any question to from the floor to Lady Jane? Yeah. because I believe Jane will be very much happy to answer any of your questions. Any questions from the floor before we wrap up the show? It's a very inspiring book. You know, you just read it because it's very, very well presented, professionally done, and I think as Lady Jane say, is you know, it's not even for those people who like to get a copy of it. You can just approach me. I will
Yeah.
do the necessary thing. Yeah, I think she
If
have give the on endorsement.
Yeah, please, let's share this book, okay, to all those who are in need, to encourage them.
All right. So since we do not have any question, I would ask Jane to tell us where the book can be bought beside Lazada. Sorry, beside Shopee and Lazada. Where else the book can be purchased? And of course, you know,
I think Salvation Bookstore still have it.
once you got
Yes,
okay, that's good.
Salvation Bookstore still have it. Okay. Apart from that, just inbox me, and I still have quite a number of copies in Kuala Lumpur,
Okay,
so
all
I
right.
can arrange to send from there. No problem. So
Yeah.
you also have a few copy. As I say, if you think that there are some needs to some people, please, by all means, have my blessing. Give them.
Yeah. Thank you very much all for attending this beautiful session. Dr. Mega, welcome again. Yeah, you're a bit late. It's okay. I can understand your busy schedule. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We will end this session, but today is a special day because after this we're going to pray for Malaysia. All right. So before we end, I would just say that tough time never lasts. Tough people do. All right. So we'll end the recording and we'll proceed to pray.